Good. How are you, Mohammed? How's everything?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Oh, all right, Mohammed. So let me see if I can make this a speaker view. There you go. Oh, there you go. I can see you now, bro. So number one, this is recorded. I'm sure you probably saw in the email that we do put the recordings out there just so we don't have to repeat ourselves for the same type of situation again and again. So when somebody new comes in and say, "Hey, I'm like author," I'm like, "Yes, we have a video for you. Just watch the author." I'll probably say the same thing. So similar for you. Let's just start with your introduction. Where are you coming from? I saw some of your stuff in the form. Let's just hear it out now because we're one on one now. And how did you find us? And let's just move on like that. So let's go ahead.
Well, thank you very much. The thing is that I get, uh, my name is Mohammed. I live in Virginia, actually.
Yeah, we are neighbors. Got
I
it.
live in, yeah, we're neighbors. I live in Woodbridge. So I went into the IT field in 2017, 2018. And then I graduated in 2019 and I started working for a company for the school where I graduated from. So I worked there for a couple of a year or two, and then that was in I went as far as Minnesota, North Dakota. So I was traveling, and basically I did information and technology, which is computer software developments. So basically, I was not even doing that at the campus. I was doing more of their hardware stuff,
Oh, like
helping them
author.
out.
Author is
Yeah.
he also was
And
an author. Okay.
yeah, and then I find out that I just have to make sure I expand my knowledge. So I kind of be like see how best I can go in detail,
Okay.
but it seems like the technology is moving at a faster pace.
Yes.
So you cannot grab everything that you needed. So I moved back down here, and then I applied for the VA in one of the federal jobs. So thank God I get the job.
Congrats.
And yeah, technically, I just want to make sure that I improve on my skill set more, you
Got
know, because just the one thing about the IT is like a family unit,
Hmm.
cannot do it by yourself. It's a joint combination
Yeah.
of things. I might know this, but it
Hmm.
seems like I get another team that can help me out to build this particular server if it's scratched down, or probably, to boot a certain thing that I might probably don't get a concept,
Got it.
but
So
I
you
need a
you you
backup.
got the jobs now, and this is such a great example for author too. That author, we're talking about your future, right? This is like I was talking about how you will get a job, but then after that you will have this thinking or this fear of how do I get technical now? How do I get better at this stuff, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's you have actually a natural. I don't know how this happens, but naturally, Muhammad is there and he's kind of giving you the future right now. Because once you land a job, for a lot of technical people, this is kind of like that natural sitting there and thinking, man, if that thing is broken down, that whole infrastructure, I would be the second in line. So how would I do that? Because that infrastructure is already built by somebody. It's running pretty nice now, but one day is going to go down. Something will
Yes.
happen.
Yeah.
And that
Mm-hmm.
fear of not knowing that technicality is what gets us. Now, the answer to that is that no one on this so far, no one in my experience, 15 plus years of experience, will come to a point that says I am fearless. No, in IT, that doesn't work that way. You will still have that fear, but then you have this confidence with it. Well, okay, if this happens, I know what to do, the basics. I know the basics, but I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of that because I know how to approach it. I know how to go to Google, documentation. My own knowledge is going to really help me. So that's where Muhammad, I feel like, where he is right now, just getting a little bit out of him. So Muhammad, is that correct, or you want to correct me?
Yeah, you're correct on that. You're correct. You're so correct because there are certain instances where I was actually my boss living my boss live in Minnesota. My boss live in Minneapolis. So I go around. So I will have a job that in the morning hours, I have to look up my laptop and see what tickets I have. And then he would be like, go to this campus and they have system down, and then I have to go there. But it was just me. So it's like if I have question, I have to probably I have to be with him on the phone. We have to be sending email, or we have to send probably a sketch, of what and what you need to do. But it's a teamwork, but at the same time, the confidence was there, but building the confidence is one. So how you build that confidence. So it's like I was talking to a friend that have been on your, skills, job skill share, and he was like, oh man, they have a good program, they can guide you how you build into your confidence until you don't until you can rely on someone, you know, but at the same time, you should have that connection to make
So
sure
people
that
can guide
things
you.
doesn't go, yeah, guide you, things don't go down
And
the
you're
way it's
from there. You
supposed
say
to
that your
go.
friend is from Amazon. He's working at Amazon.
Yeah, he's working Amazon. I mean, his name is Patel. He works for Amazon now.
I might
So
know. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I was like, okay, that's fine. So I go online and I saw you guys. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, Instagram. So even now I've started like I even have I even have the job share on my desktop, on my laptop. So I just go look on those are your free, video
Yeah,
link
got
that you guys have sent. It's very helpful. So I think I want to be part of the process because my job at this time, I'm a system administrator. You know what I mean?
it. Okay, so you're a
So
sysadmin.
you,
Okay,
yeah. So you be you a system administrator. People also look up to you to what needs to be done, and you gotta have that strategic planning, so things
got
doesn't go down bad the way it's supposed to go. So I feel like with
it.
job skill share, I can have build up more confidence in
Okay,
me because the IT field for me is almost 3 or 4 years now. In technical, I can
yes.
say.
Uh,
But as I said, it's growing. It's growing bigger and bigger and bigger all the time.
Mhm.
I
okay,
might have a skill. I might have a skill on the software side a little bit, but at the same time, you might need and also another aspect of it how you can run it smoothly,
okay.
without
So
having a
now let me ask
breakdown.
you some
So
questions because I think now we're very specific to systems administration. So when you are talking about systems administration, what is this one area in your job that you feel like JSS? I'm going to talk to him today and see if he can help me. What is this one or two areas? Because systems administration is like a monster right there, right? Everybody, when you go
yes,
to a company, you
exactly.
become a sysadmin. You have different world in your own setup. You're a sysadmin of that setup. Another sysadmin will be a sysadmin of another setup, and those two may not even know the skills of A, B, C from each other because those are two different. So you tell me, what are some of the technologies or things that you feel like if I'm in this meeting today, this is the first thing that I want to see if I can fix or I can learn? Or are you looking into some kind of a flow? Like, tell me the first thing to do, and then I'm going to phase in. So give me that something, then I'm going to see where you are. Then that's how we make customized type of solution, right?
Yeah. So in my own case, right, when I'm looking at it, a certain job I'll be doing, I mean, I'll be more probably help them with password resets, and make sure I get a new employer has their information straightened up. I might be probably I'll be doing some boot drive thing and also safe mode, and I have to be dealing with probably DHCP
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
And also, I don't know how much I have to be going into the Active Directories aspect of it because it's been categorized. So basically, it's just a scenario that comes to you. That's how you're going to tackle it. You know.
Okay.
So
What
those are the
now? Those are pretty much covered. That's like I'm going to call that as a basic level. Why? Active Directory users, Active Directory stuff on a management side. This is all, that's something that's, yes, we'll cover that. But is there anything more than that? Because you talk about DHCP. Now that's a little different thing. If you have to go back to the server and configure a DHCP or play around with DHCP, now that I know that that's where a normal technician level person will get stuck because they don't have that skill. So
Yeah.
they will be like scared of touching DHCP or DNS servers. So one thing that I know, okay, now you're gonna need help over there. Is there anything else that you feel like you're going out there and you're like, ah, man, I really need to know this stuff too?
Well, in terms of also the boot drive, because you might have a certain situation where they'll be like, hey, um, you know, can you have a look at this boot drive and see how it works? I mean, what's wrong with it? So things like that instantly, I'll not be like, oh, give me a second, let me think about it, or give me a second, let me go to, let me go take a look at my archives and see. But I want it to be like, okay, the boot drive, if I have the problem and they give me the problem to the boot drive, at least I should have a solution to how to make it
So
work.
so that's when it's a little confusing when you say boot drive. Boot drive as in what? Is this a hardware like somewhere physical and you turning on the machine and you want to know about the how the RAID
Oh,
and boot works, or what was that?
oh, well, probably they will give you like a whole reimaging of a system, and after you reimage the system, they'll like you to, hey, can you do a boot drive for us, stuff like that.
Okay. So is
So
that on a operating system like Windows 10 level, or are you talking about
Windows
server?
10, Windows 10 level,
Okay, that's different then. Okay, got it.
Hmm.
Okay, so it seems like you got something mixed going on. Okay, even though you said it's a sysadmin, but when the things that you're talking about is 70% all support level one, level two, level three, that comes under them, right? In our teachings, we say that when you add a user in Active Directory, you work with operating systems, which is like Windows 10. A sysadmin, like a proper sysadmin, you usually don't even touch these things, right? They would be working a lot, like I'm talking about like a more corporate level type of sysadmins. So they would be working a lot on the servers and knowing about DHCP configuration and actually setting up a whole Active Directory from scratch. Like that's the main, I am going to set it up and you as a tech would be working on the Active Directory to fix password issues. That's how it works in normal way, right? So do you do anything on the server? Like you log into the server, you open the server, do you do anything inside the server?
No, I don't do anything. I mean, all the software is already built in there.
Okay.
I don't do anything inside the server itself, just the surface. If I need anything to be done,
Okay.
we can either call the other, contractor that are specifically, in that particular area to
And
do
the
it.
other contractor then gets into the server,
Contractors
those
get
type of
into the
things. And those,
server. Yeah,
so those are the systems engineers that you're talking about, mainly.
exactly.
They take over the server. Got it. Okay. So, in your case, this is what I'm thinking. You already got the job. I'm gonna basically go straight up tell you that you're gonna need labs, whether you do your own labbing or you use our labs, because you already got that going. You're different than author, right? Author is looking for a job. So I usually tell people that if for that you need some kind of free courses, that's fine because it's covered. We have done all that stuff. But in your case, you need something, you feel like you want to learn this stuff from scratch and do hands-on type of like where you can see things, how things are built up, and then you want to do that from like that kind of process, then you need labs. Okay. So I'm going to show you something and you can let me know that this is something that's going to work for you or not. We can talk about that. Okay. So let me share my screen. Screen one. Okay. Can you see my screen, Mohammed?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mohammed, I'm going to ask you a few questions over here, and you can just let me know because I need to see where your skill set kind of like is for us to give you the better solution here. So if you look at it, you said that you have done some free courses. Um, I'm sure you know the fundamentals at this point. Like you know how to add a user account, you know how to add a Windows 10 device managers kind of stuff. You know all that stuff, right?
Right.
Okay. Are you comfortable with it?
I'm comfortable.
Okay. What about just using command line ping, nslookup, basics, ipconfig? What about that?
Well, I mean, basically, I think basic IT persons should know the IP config because that's where it started, I believe.
Okay.
So I have, yeah, I have a pretty much
Okay,
base
since
on that one.
you already got a job, I feel like I'm gonna skip this and I'm just gonna open this course, the technical skills one, even though this is a part of our IT support program. But like I said, our support program is kind of like level one, level two, and even junior, even hit the junior sysadmin level, right? That's where people value our program more because we don't just say, hey, this is level one, so we're just gonna do passive resets. No, it goes to way beyond that, right? So now I want to ask you something here. In this technical V1.0 course, how much do you like, how good are you with virtualization? So if I say virtualization, do you know about Hyper-V and a VMware? Can you create a virtual machine? Can you play around with VMware? Can you create a server on it? How comfortable are you?
Well, it depends if you're gonna do because I'm not comfortable like with Windows 7 one to create a virtual machine on it, but I'm not comfortable with Windows 10
Okay,
at all.
let me ask you a question. When I say, are you comfortable with Hyper-V and VMware, if I give you a hardware server, can you convert that into like a virtual server? Can you convert the whole hardware into virtualization?
No, I can't.
No, right? So that right there tells me that your virtualization skills are starting right now. If you want to become a sysadmin, this is something that's the first thing that I tell people that you gotta understand, or else everything will make less sense to you, right? Because it's so critical these days that when you work on these servers and things that we're talking about right now, most of it's virtualized. Very few companies have hardware left in their data center, right? They do have hardware, but most of the time we're moving, like you say, we're moving fast. The technology is moving fast, right? So even from virtualization, people are going to cloud now, right? But your level right now, what I'm getting is that this is where you need to start here because I could have actually suggested more advanced things to you, but that's not going to really help you. Like if I say, hey, Mohammed, I think you should take this course. Let's just go do Microsoft. And I was going to actually suggest this course. Let me tell you exactly what course I'm talking about. It's 2016. Let me search for it. 2016. So if you look at it right here, I was going to suggest one of these courses: installation, storage, and compute with Windows 2016 server, design and deploy Microsoft Exchange Server 2016. All of these are advanced level courses, even in systems administration. But the things that you're explaining to me right now is related to this stuff, which is a technical, like a it's like a junior sysadmin level two-ish type of skills, right? So if you look at the screen right now, we're talking about real world IT learning. So we created the whole virtualization server. Then we're talking about domain controller. Are you comfortable with creating a domain controller? Then we're saying, let's create clients. That's where you're going now. Like, I'm not comfortable with creating Windows 10 machines and everything. That's what we're talking about here. But you see, before creating a client, you need to know about domain controllers, right? So because
Correct.
in a corporate environment, you need to understand that how a domain network works versus a work group, and probably you have done that before as well. But now you are kind of like doing this yourself. You're creating a whole infrastructure from scratch, so that fear or that confidence is getting better now because now you're doing everything. You're creating a whole thing from scratch, right? So
Correct.
if you go down, you see now it goes to more advanced things like software deployments, desktop imaging. So you're gonna understand how when an image come to you, how do you put that on a machines and how does it become like, how do you deploy that whole image? So this course breaks down everything for you, but it's still not very deep, right? It just breaks down for you. It gives you an examples. You will practice this on your lab. If you have your own equipment, you can actually replicate this and do that. You will basically access this even from a Plus membership. You can access this stuff, so you can replicate this stuff on your own lab and learn that and get better at this stuff the things that you were talking to me so far. Okay. Now, if you want to take this to a next level where you say that I want to become a sysadmin and I want to become more of that person who I send a ticket and that engineer, the contractor gets in and fix it, that's the other skills. That's the server level skills, right? So where's those type of skills? After when you finish this course, in step 4, if you look at it, Windows Server Administration Active Directory Group Policy. This is where things get even beyond level 1, level 2-ish type of skills. And even in some jobs, you will come across it. So if you say, Danish, I still do DHCP on a server, then you got to be in this course. So let me show you how it's going to look in this course. And that's why we never recommend anybody to skip our first courses, because none of this stuff will make sense. And that's why I told author that if I tell him to do this course, it won't make any sense to him, right? So if you come to this course right now, this is where you're talking about that DHCP, DNS. First, we tell you what is a server. This is like a free video we give you in the beginning, just because the explanation is way better than how I'm going to give. Then we give you this free session of 1 hour live session, exactly what you told me. I add users, account, an Active Directory, basic stuff. That's covered for free over here. But then if you go down now, you see how it goes more advanced now. You're talking about DHCP. Let's configure the whole DHCP, the scopes, the DNS, replications, things like that kicks in this course. So if you're a Plus member, then you have access to these videos. If you have your own lab, you can replicate it, like I said. If you don't want to do this and you feel like you can invest in the premium membership, then what do? You have access to this course and you have access to the labs, and you basically open the lab right here. While you watch a video in our jobskillshare.org, you see the video out there, right? You can come back and kind of like practice it yourself hands-on. So that's where I'm getting from you right now so far. Unless you have something more that I need to know, I can give you more suggestions. But what do you think so far? Like, is that even making sense to you? Tell me.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you cannot grab the bull by its horn. It's not going to work that way, because the bull is much stronger than you. So you got to make sure you build up that. That's what I'm saying. I said you got to make sure that base is being strong. So when that base is being strong, and then we can move up. So it's your suggestion is good, and I will take that suggestion strongly. And I will be, as I said, I mean, I'm a passionate someone that's like to learn. I like to learn new things as it comes away. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just
like
be
in your
thankful.
case, you just need to follow the 2 courses that I just suggested you. I will still recommend you to just go over and kind of zoom through this fundamental course, because you already got a job right now. So you should zoom through that course, just so if you have missed something from the way I started things, because my teaching is like this. I'm going to build a house. The first thing I'm going to tell you, Mohammed, is we're going to create a strong base. So if you miss me saying something in that base and you go straight to the top floor, you're gonna drop. That's how I feel. But you can prove me wrong, and you can go to this course and you say, I know this stuff. This is pretty easy stuff for me. So just zoom through it, right? Because you already got a job. Then the most important course for you is this guy right here, because that's where the skills that you are doing right now, the things that you're doing right now, is exactly that's what I call help desk support technical skills. This is, you can call yourself a IT support specialist, you can call yourself a sysadmin, but those things that you have discussed comes under, in our standard, it comes into support area. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Now, you may finish this and you're like, okay, wow, okay, I got this. Now let me get into that advanced one that I was talking about, systems administration. Then this is the fundamental, and that's just scratching the surface in systems administration. Because like you said, like about the bull example, you want to start from here, so then it phases you into systems administration rather than I throw all the labs on top of you. Because this lab is going to break things for you. And then you are going to get into systems administration type of learning. Then what will happen after that? You're going to get into more of these labs that I just was showing you right here. 2016 servers, identity, getting very deep into Active Directory and things like that. That's where that contractor, when you have everybody's calling that, Mohammed, everybody in this building, 300 people cannot access a server. I'm sure with your current skills, I believe you won't be able to fix that, right? If Active Directory was, let's say, down, totally crashed, that will be that systems administrator coming here, knowing this knowledge of how Active Directory needs to be brought up again, or from the backup, corrupted, whatever it is. That's a skill like a normal sysadmin would be. No, that's sysadmin skills right there. Typical skills, right? So
Yes.
to get to that level, you need to first finish, in our standards, you need to finish our first program, which is like that. That's when people finish that program, then they can say that I can work for a level 1, level 2, and even level 3, or even a junior sysadmin, because it touches all that areas. Once they finish that program, then after that, we have transitioning skills. If you're following our program and you, let's say you don't want to follow the labs approach and you want to say, you know what, let me just follow his guided program. It takes more time, but maybe I like it that way. So then you're going to go back here into this program. You see right here, it says transitioning skills. And transitioning skills, it gets you more into networking, because now you're becoming the proper network engineer. But I won't even recommend this to you right now, because like I said, based on what I've seen so far, you need to finish this program, the first one, the skills and the systems and the server administration basics, fundamentals. Once you finish that, then you come back to the transitioning skills and finish that course. And then you will gonna get into more advanced stuff. It will naturally happen, but a step by step and a slow approach is way better than a rushed approach, because it leads to more stress, it leads to more failures, and you almost spend the same amount of time. But you either want to spend the time that is nicely done for you, or you want to just go out there and rush it in and fail and come back and fight it off. And yes, and people have been doing this for, I mean, I'm a baby in this career, right? When it comes to platforms, we're babies. There are people that have been doing this for I don't know, ages right now. But
Yeah.
that's why we are here. We were born out of this problem. I tell people that this platform is a baby of a problem, that a lot of people think that you can go to IT, you can battle it out, you can just do it yourself, take that stress, then you will become a solid IT professional. Then I say, why? What's the big deal? Someone can just give it to you. Why can't you do this smartly? And that's our approach.
Yeah. So one time I was following you guys. You guys were talking about how there was a video where one of your I think it's not you, the other gentleman, mentioned about someone that was a student, and just an interesting story, that he left. He was in Texas, and then I think he worked in Texas now, and then he came back. He has to like thank you guys for the good job that you guys have been doing.
Oh,
So
you're talking about a student from Iran who came in here. He got a job.
Iran, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
he got a job in a very big service provider, and he got a share in that company as well. So
yeah.
that's kind of like hey, I mean, it's a little different story, but yeah, he became a sysadmin. He had some knowledge from his country, but then he became a sysadmin in the US. Yes.
Yeah.
He started with the
I mean,
tech.
yeah, the thing, yeah, you started a little bit, and then you move up, So it's the it's how the game is, because you have to catch up, but it's hard to catch up.
Mhm.
So it's like you cannot put your qualification on every aspect. You cannot specialize on every
Oh yeah.
aspect.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, if you're gonna specialize on one aspect, specialize on it. You know,
Mm,
like I can tell you that, oh, I'm specialized on this. I can write a program. You know, writing a program doesn't, means that you are a computer wizard. You just write in the program to be sent so it can be used. And then the another part is the technicality over there, how you can manage that program to function, you know.
yes.
So those technicalities is something that I want to improve on as we go along. And as you said, I can listen to your advice. I will go through those videos and
Yeah,
probably
like I
I'll try
said,
to.
your thing is like, if I show you a simple way, it's like this. Step one, quickly do it. Step two, take a good time on that. Why? Because that's you right now. That's your work right there. Okay, get to step four and pause there and then do labs with it. Because that stuff right there is more hands-on. DHCP server, you're gonna watch a video, I can guarantee you forget it in a second. So watch
Yeah,
the video, perform the lab. Watch the video, perform the lab. Watch the video, perform the lab. If you want to become a real sysadmin, that's how you want to become a real sysadmin. And then you have the ability from us or yourself, whichever you choose. You can build your own labs, do it, or you get the lab membership like this. You have the same labs right in front of you. You got the video right here in the course. So watch the video, do the lab. Watch the video, do the lab. Do the lab first. If you feel like you gave up, the stress is kicking in, go watch the video. That's like cheating, but it's okay. It's a good cheating, right? But sometimes people are more visual learners. They watch the video, then they perform, right? So we give you both. But this is the step forward. Like if I tell you that, hey, Mohammed, from after 3 months, meet me again. When you meet me after 3 months, you're gonna tell me that, Danish, I smoked that step four. I know what this is, man. Tell me more, right?
yeah, that's my goal. I mean, I just get the information like less than a week. you know I go through a couple of videos, and I set you know I send you guys a message, say I want to see how I can interact. So that has told me that I'm working on it, and because the teaching skill that you guys have, it's there. One, to have a a bachelor degree or a master's degree, it's different for you to have the skill, because I have a lot of people that have the master's degree, PhD, but I mean they have to call me to say, hey, what do you think about this?
Mm.
I was like, okay, I mean, I got a PhD calling me. What am I thinking about? But it's the technicality of it.
And
The
that's where the
academic
problem.
work might be there.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
many platforms have something like where they will invest a lot of time on lab videos and doing like mixed matching these two together. Those are the missing things that we are basically saying that, okay, we can help you with skills. A lot of time you go to the YouTube. So what's YouTube? Do MCSA. But how do I do MCSA? Where's a good course? Where's a complete package? Right? That's the problem with the new people, like, right? That's how where I got started. So we invest a lot of times so then we can cover these things that you're coming across. Right? That's the reason I'm able to give you an answer practically, not just do MCSA, right? But that doesn't end there. We're going to give you exactly the steps that what you need to do, but it can only happen when you get practical. It's good information out there. It's great, but it can only work if you get practical. That's the same thing for author too, right? Author, you can only do this when you get practical with this, because that is
Yeah.
what we do. This is why
Yeah.
we exist. Because the only difference between us and certification is we are more practical than theories. In our membership, of course, we also throw theory to you. We'll say, okay, you know what? You become a member. There you go. You got 260 courses, all videos, demos with it. Go take it. You want to take it? Go take it. But what's the difference then? We're the same as anybody else, but this is where we are different. That we made a program, researched, talked to people, put our videos in a way that you're gonna come across and okay, that's what I need. I need a flow. I need a full flow over here. So
Yeah, that's how I learned. Just consistent, and just hardware doing it over and over again, messing up here, but yeah, I learned. So I feel confident doing a lot of upgrades and virus removal and stuff like that. So yeah.
so Mohammed, did I make any sense or like are you still any confusion? Is everything clear?
No, I mean, you make more sense, because as I said, you have to have somebody to give you the confidence that this is what you need to be on to make sure you get that thing done. You know, because as I said, most of the time, previous job is based on hardware. And I mean, I've been working by myself. I work confidently by myself, but it's like one instance I remember when we have to, because in this system we have to change all the computers. All the computers needs to be updated,
Mhm.
and the only thing they do, they just push me the software to me, and I have to deploy all the software in like 100 computers.
Wow.
It's like I'm the only one, and I have to manage two campuses, you know. So it's like it's a big thing. That was the biggest project I've ever done by myself.
And what
It
did you
takes
use for
me,
deployments?
well, the the system was already built.
Uh,
So what I did was I even forgot because I have to push it overnight. But
okay.
overnight, my mistake that I did, I turned all the system off instead of leaving them on.
Got it.
So anytime I pushed it, it kicked me back. Anytime I pushed it, it kicked me back. So that's when I go the next morning and I found out that I text my boss. I said, I tried to push it. I said, it's keep on kicking me back. So he lied. He said, did you figure it out why? I said, no, I did not. He said, okay. He said, go back to the campus. He said, make sure that all those computers are on. He said, it all has to be on. You don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
to leave everything off,
I
you
got
know. So I was like, okay, so I learned from there.
it. Yep.
So it's,
And that's
yeah, the
why I say
learning process.
if you look at this course that I'm suggesting you, that step two one, it's what that's what you're talking about, software deployment, desktop imaging deployment. So when you come over here, you see how you're learning it from different products. So our goal is not to make you a an expert in deployments. That's not what we want to do here. We want to give you three different methods or two different methods in a real world situation. Then you can go back to documentation and make yourself an expert. But we're not going to make you an expert in deployment, right? We are going to give you all of that stuff to make sure that you understand that you could do this yourself one way or a second way now. So imagine if you had have done this section and now you would have got that job, you would be more confident that, okay, this is something I can take care of. Or let's say you have got a job somewhere where you are a sysadmin and you didn't have a product. What would you do then? You're going to go to each machine, do it manually? That's going to take you forever, right? So now,
Forever,
if you
yeah.
had this type of knowledge right here, then that's just more confidence right there. Okay, you know what? I can use PDQ. Okay, I can use Manage Engine. I can use that software. If you don't feel like none of this thing, at least you know the concept, right? You could research and you'll find something on internet. You find everything. You'll find. There's no way you cannot find something. You're gonna find it. It's just that confidence that it's just gonna be more. You're gonna be more confident by even going out there. So even if you go into these courses, then it goes to more advanced, like the systems administration course. These type of courses then, of course, goes a little bit more. I would say this is more of an open skills. We just basically come with everything third party skills here, there, to break things down for you. Then in these systems administration courses that I showed you, those get more technical. They're more step by step. Let's configure a whole thing on a server. And it's very simple. Like for example, if you look at right here, manage Active Directory infrastructure part one. So if you look at it here, in our technical course, step two, everything was basics. Oh, let's just create a domain controller, but let's just do it not a proper way, right? Because I want to give you an idea first. Here, everything is step by step. Additional domain controller, new Active Directory, AD, 4S, DNS for Active Directory. None of that stuff is covered in basics. But because of those basics, you're not going to be like, wow, this is just too much for me right now. Because of those basics, those were the base, it prepared your mind for this stuff. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
especially you know, I'll be using Centrix too, you know. So in certain deployments, sometimes it will fail, sometimes it will work, you know. But I might look into your videos as you are giving me your advice,
mm,
and after I look at your videos, I will make sure I try to get a membership in your labs
yeah, like
because
I said, just any decision, make sure you do your research fully. I like to tell people that even go offsite and try to find something. Maybe like let's see, what if you find a better solution than ours too? Because I'm not here doing research every day, right? So make sure you guys, when you guys are talking about money or investment or anything like that, I hope you will definitely do research before you go for that. I don't like to do promotions like this. I don't like to sell something. I like to tell people that internet is freely available to you. Do your research. And I also want to say thank you to your friend for referring you over here. So if you do talk to him, so
yeah.
thank you to them. And of course, author is coming from our another friend, Kevtek. We are always grateful to him. So, and it's a community. And if you're not a part of Discord, Mohammed, then you should be a part of that because it's a very lively community. So,
No problem. I'll be part of it. I'll be part of it.
do you guys have any questions for me, or it was everything good?
Well,
Well,
I
everything's
mean,
good with me.
this is a IT, it's an IT, you know, scenario. Question come as you go along, you know.
Okay.
So I might have the questions coming back, you know. I mean, after everything has been taken care of, look all those videos, do a little research, and then I'll come back and say, hey, Danish, this is what I got. I got a premium membership for you. So I need this help. We all need, I mean, it's a teamwork. That's what I'm saying, you know, because I have a team I work with, you
Mhm.
know, everybody have their skills, you know, and then we all put our skills together and we'll make it work. It's not
Yeah.
every time
The
the
way our
grass is not,
the
yeah.
way our membership is designed is that even though I don't know how much you guys know about how pricing works and stuff, the prices that you guys are looking at, you guys are talking about boot camp type of or a whole college level of programs squeezed into one membership. So with that, the way we help you is that you have a lab that's pretty much hands-on, right? You get stuck, then there's a video for you. Okay, you're doing a video, but those are now you get stuck in a lab that you want to do learning. Like let's say, for example, you came across something about a lab that it's there in a documentation. It tells you what to do. You have done it, but then you have like, oh, you know what? I need to learn more about this. Now that's something we don't offer. I like to say that up straight up because we cannot offer a 6,000 plus task. Like, there's, let's say 6,000 tasks out there. We don't have that manpower to sit and answer, oh, let me teach you this task now, right? For that, you have to do your own research. But to make it easy for you, if you're doing a lab, there's a video that we have created for it. So all the good labs that you're gonna need, like let's say Server 2016, all three server labs, Server Plus, Security Plus, Cisco CCNA. If there's a lab, then there will be a video. So usually 90% of the time, 90 plus percent of the time, a member, when they get stuck, they watch a video and everything is good to go. There's an issue with the lab, then you have a full support available inside the lab. So when you send them a ticket that machine's supposed to do ABC because in documentation I did that, I followed it, it's not working, then there's a special support for that. You send a screenshot to them. The next day they respond back that, oh, this is where the issue is. We fixed it, or you have an issue. You didn't put something correctly. So go ahead and fix it by typing. Because 90% of the time it's a user typing something, slashes the wrong way or dots the wrong way, spaces the wrong way. But of course, these are real systems. They could have issues, right? So, but I wanted to clear that ahead of the time, even in this video. And you will see this in our terms and conditions as well. Just so you have that idea that, that's how we support our members. So we can only go to the level where we feel like that's it. As a human being, my energy is there, the max.
That's true.
Because after that, it's live trainings, and live trainings are super expensive, and we even stopped doing that for a while because to us, energy and our own times for our own trainers is is more like, you know, you gotta, you at some time you just give up. Like, no, that's physically not good for you, you know.
Yeah.
So I hope this stuff helps you. I'm sure the content that I have, I'm very confident that both of you are gonna cross some levels. If it gets to the point where you feel like you really need some more help with advanced stuff and you're stuck somewhere with guidance, I'm always available. Send a message to support. We'll come back again on Zoom again. I'll guide you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining, Arthur. And
Okay.
this video will be on YouTube. So if you feel like you guys didn't get something, just watch it again. Put it on 2x because some of the usually get long. Just put it on 2x, and it gets rolling quickly. So definitely watch it and relearn from it if you want to take some notes out of it.
Okay.
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 All
All
right.
right.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Take
Thank
care,
you.
and you have a
All
great
right.
day. And see you
You
guys
too.
later on. Okay.